Today I am announcing that I am officially coming out with my shoe.
Angel Reese's new contract with Reebok was just revealed by ESPN, and I can't stop the internet from scratching its collective head. Did that just happen? Reese, best known as Caitlin Clark's most vocal opponent and professional sideline commentator, has somehow signed a contract with a company that doesn't seem to care about credibility. Not to mention her famous incidents where she bullied Clark this season by pretending to be injured in order to miss games and making minimal contributions when she did play.
So guys, I am extremely excited to confirm and let you guys know we are officially coming out with the Reebok by Angel signature shoe. We have already kicked off the design process and I can't wait to share with you guys. It will be for men and women.
And Reebok believed she was the driving force behind their daring comeback decision, but it's absolutely dumb. Who are her fans, really? Who is purchasing these shoes? This arrangement screams desperation, and the perplexing aspect is why Reebok failed to recognize the obvious warning signs that Ree has been displaying throughout her career. For the same impact, Reebok might as well have partnered with any random TikTok influencer.
People to know the deals don't just stop in college. When you go to the pros, they continue, and I feel like they've even grown even more. Now that I'm a pro, I can do so much more.
Angel Ree's signature with it would be unkind to pretend that this is a Cinderella tale, as Reebok is a whole show. It's more akin to witnessing a brand frantically swipe right at someone who is barely surviving. The once proud firm Reebok, which is currently having trouble making a name for itself in a market dominated by Adidas and Nike, has thrown its support behind Reese, a player whose reputation surpasses her on-court accomplishments. It's a bold decision, but it's not even close to a smart one.
To be introduced to a shoe with performance, expressive, y'all know I'm unapologetic, it looks good, feels good, so that's the most important things, and I'm so excited to share this.
In October 2023, Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson were brought in by Reebok to revamp their basketball strategy, and their first bold suggestion was to smack Angel. Reese's face on a campaign actually sounds more like a plea for assistance than a plan. While Reese is busy dressing up as the Bayou Barbie, let's talk about the numbers because apparently Reebok didn't. The real face of women's basketball, Caitlin Clark, is out here signing deals with Nike and Adidas, a brand synonymous with elite athletes' rays, and she's promoting Reebok, a company that has essentially been on life support in the basketball world. Reese's marketability may work on social media, where filters and catchy captions rule the day. Game after game, Clark delivers incredible performances that redefine what it means to dominate Reese. Let it sink in. May 7th, 13 points in 19 minutes. If nothing else, this is the person Reebok is counting on to buy sneakers.
On May 7th, she put up 13 points, 5 boards, and a couple of steals in just 19 minutes.
Speaking of footwear, let's examine the Reebok Engine, a ridiculous shoe with a fancy name and a backstory that no one requested. The energy return system and nitrogen-infused foam sound fantastic in a press release, but good luck persuading anyone that this is the next big thing in a market where Nike's technology dominates the competition. And let's not even discuss the design process. Was Reese actually involved in this, or did Reebok simply need someone with a somewhat recognizable name to put in front of the cameras?
Angel by Reebok drops Friday. Reebok by Angel, Angel by Reebok, whatever you want to call it, drops Friday. People are so weird.
Nothing says elite athlete like someone whose court performances are as erratic as a vending machine stealing your money. Therefore, Reebok's marketing geniuses believe the engine will be a game changer when it releases in the spring of 2025. Rays is expected to market this shoe to the small number of followers who are more interested in her TikTok dances than her shooting percentage. Good luck with that, and don't even try to portray Reese's official court ventures as evidence of her Met Gala success. Beats by Dre is a good American, and while she is making money, her whole company seems like a glitzy diversion from the reality that she is failing to deliver where it counts on the court. Caitlin Clark can demonstrate her value without attending the Met Gala or posing for designer ads. Her gameplay speaks louder than any marketing ploy ever could. When you look at the wider context, Reebok's decision to pass the torch to Reese is absurd. It's Caitlin Clark outside. Securing contracts with the greatest names in sports, setting new standards for women's basketball, and breaking records. It's like seeing someone try to sell a flip phone in the era of iPhones, as Reese is attempting to remain relevant while playing second fiddle with a company that has been clinging to nostalgia for decades. Adorable, but very outdated. Angel those Beats by Dre commercials, Good American campaigns, and even her own clothing line may make her bank account sing. But let's be honest, does any of this scream? Reese is the ideal example of how a social media persona can be dressed up and sold as something that is obviously not her marketability. No, this is the type of fame that comes from filters, hashtags, and practiced public relations techniques rather than from game-winning performances or jaw-dropping abilities. This obvious point has not been overlooked by critics, and neither should we. The real impact of Reese on the WNBA is still out in the air, to put it mildly.
It's kind of like I'm Hannah Montana, like having two different kinds of things. When you're about your business and know what you want in life and who you are, you make way for what you want.
Clark's abilities and statistics are more impressive than Reese's designer picture shoots could ever be. You can figure out how much of her fan base is there for her game compared to her carefully manicured online persona, and then there's the authenticity problem. Reese may sell jerseys, but that seems more like a victory for her social media team than evidence of her real basketball influence. Caitlin Clark doesn't need to put in a lot of effort to market herself because her gameplay is her image. She performs like a generational talent on the court and allows her accomplishments speak for themselves. Since Clark is the type of athlete that elevates everything she touches, from her team to the companies she represents, Nike and Adidas were essentially lining up to sign her. However, Reese seems like a marketing gimmick. If her name is flashy enough, people might forget that she hasn't proven herself on the court yet, and let's not forget Shaquille O'Neal's part in Reese's Reebok deal. Shaq obviously sees Essie in Reese, or more likely, he sees what Reebok fervently hopes she can be. He has never stopped talking about making basketball shoes accessible and affordable, which is admirable, but does Reese truly embody this mission, or is she just the convenient face? Reebok had to market its nostalgic, 90s-inspired merchandise. Shaq's tales of giving away shoes are compelling because they originate from a legend, whereas Reese lacks that degree of legitimacy, which makes the entire collaboration seem contrived. The brand is attempting to promote its new products, such as the Energy Return System sneakers, while relying heavily on its 90s glory days. The issue is that the basketball world has moved on, and while Reebok hopes that retro vibes will win the day, it won't, and combining this antiquated strategy with Ree, who is already having trouble making her. While Caitlin Clark's partnerships with Nike and Adidas demonstrate how it's truly done, Mark feels like a swing and a miss. Younger fans who understand what true innovation looks like won't flock to Reebok simply because they featured Angel Reese in an advertising campaign. These partnerships aren't just endorsements. They're collaborations with the biggest names in sports that aim to showcase the best talent in the industry. Clark's performance and brand's perception of her as a worldwide ambassador both embody the future of basketball. The main distinction between these two players is that Reese initially seems to be the backup choice that well-known companies like Reebok cling to since they are unable to get someone like Clark. The impact of Caitlin Clark cannot be denied. In addition to being the face of the WNBA, she sets records, motivates fans, and enhances her value each time she takes the court. However, Reese is occupied with catching up while riding the coattails of her online fame and ostentatious sponsorships that seem more like distractions than compliments for all the excitement surrounding her social media following and endorsements. Her Reebok purchase shouts second tier. When it seems like a move motivated more by Reebok's desire to remain in the game than by Reese's true skill, it's difficult to take seriously.